Hey, what's up, all you nerds and turds? It's me, it's Steve, it's him, it's Matt, it's him, it's Andy. We're here. The three of us are here. What's up? How you doing, buddies?
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Say hello to all of the people out there watching and listening around the globe.
Hiya.
On
hey, global listeners.
their favorite podcast service of choice. This is Indie's Nutz. This is the
Favorite
internet's
indie nerds.
#1 indie gaming news
If
reviews.
we have
and
any
previews
listeners in
podcast.
Helsinki, hello.
Ooh.
We love you.
We love
If you're
you.
currently on top of Mount Everest and you're listening to this
We
through
love you.
your MP3 player,
Mm.
thank you
Yeah.
for taking us with you. And
if you're
if you
listening
can,
from
journey.
Yemen,
if you can, just like, take a selfie or something with our show. And be like, ching, look what I'm listening to. I don't know how you can do that. Maybe make your friend. Maybe make your friend do it. Well, yeah, it would be ching because Indie's Nuts would be at the top of Mount Everest. You know what I mean?
Cha-ching. That's like easy marketing.
We could get
Yeah.
on a box of Wheaties if we
true.
do that.
Be
I
apart
think
ourselves.
we would have to make the trek. though.
No.
What do you?
We're not
cha-ching?
athletes.
What do you mean? Yeah, but like you can't just fucking carry your voice to the top of Everest
I
and
don't know.
Wheaties.
I
bro.
bet we'd be the
That's not-
first podcast listened to on the top of Everest.
I bet that's not true.
The people, they are not listening to
I bet that's not true.
I don't think electronics work up there.
There's at
I
least
don't
there's
think they
at
know what
least
it takes to climb
there's at
Mount
least one
It's
guy that's
close
been
to
listening to the
space.
Joe
I think
Rogan
it would kill
podcast
you.
the entire time that he's climbing Mount Everest.
Ladies
That
and
would-
gentlemen, welcome to the show. Again, this is Indie's Nuts Podcast, the internet's #1 gaming news, reviews, and previews podcast show. Please each and every month, or each and every week. It's about every month now. Each and every week for your
Leave it
listening
in.
pleasure. Andy and Matt were supposed to do a show last week. They didn't. So
We totally
here
did.
we are.
You just
Yeah,
didn't.
no, he did. He just,
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
didn't get it.
Mhm.
We're gonna shadow drop it. Hey, Dave.
I believe that 0%. What's new on dual screens, Andy? Do we got anything coming up? Any new RT Clay's reviews? I got some stuff I got to work on, but I was fucking so busy at work.
I would
for
say
this
go to
month.
youtube.com/dualscreens.tv and listen to our latest interview with the #blood developer.
Yes.
That was a really
That
fun
was a
show.
really good episode.
Those guys, I'm telling you, from our communique on the email, they're so sweet.
Why
They're
you
so.
say it like that?
I have to.
Because he's a
Gotcha.
communa gay. Andy is a homosexual. That is not
Very.
an insult to
God,
Andy.
We're like
if
8
you're
days
new
into
here.
Pride Month, and I'm already over it.
Guys, I feel like when we don't do the podcast for like a couple weeks, we're on our A game.
This
When we come back,
happens.
This is great. This
Maybe
is
it
just
should be a
fucking so
monthly show.
good, man.
This is
Yeah.
an A+ program right here. Yes, and if you go to our Patreon, I am going to post this weekend the next episode and the episode for the following week, because we do have 2 episodes in the can. We are also recording this weekend a cool show about the program that I spoke about 2 weeks ago, RPG Stories. The developer is actually in Greece, and Andy was communicating in Greek to them, and it's going to be hieroglyphics. Yes, that's not a language. Like, it's so the thing about the Greek alphabet, or the Greek whatever, I guess,
It's just
is-
squigglies to you. Is
no,
that
no,
what-
no. It's a cross between like the
Oh, runes.
like Japanese, Asian, like Chinese, like that kind of writing, and also regular Latin or like English letters. Like it's
You're
like
talking about like kanji, like
it's
the
like you
fucking-
smash them together, and it's like curved.
see
I
that
don't know.
at all.
I don't understand language. It's
gotta Google
language
it
is
now.
so
A
hard.
lot of them resemble our letters, so I don't know where you get the
I
Japanese
can
from.
recognize 0 letters. I can.
There's like a T and
like one of them is like a guy on
and
a
a
house.
P.
Like I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
One's a guy in
There's
a
a guy
house. What are
fucking-
you talking about?
One's a
A guy
guy
fucking a goat.
chimney sweeping. Like it's fucking weird. Anyway,
Someone making tzatziki. Yeah, of course. That's-
so look forward to that. Go to dual screen. Go to patreon.com/dual screens. Just like our Patreon producer Colton, the apprentice Nestler. We can't continue to grow without all of your support. Thank you guys so much, everyone, each and every one of you. $1 gets you bonus episodes. $3 gets you early episodes or pre-shows or post-shows. We didn't do a pre-show this week because we had just too much bullshit to talk about that I just didn't hit record. But here we are. All right, let's get into the indie game adventures, and this is where we talk about our indie game adventures of the week. And we're gonna start with Matt because it's first on the list. Matt, what do you got for us, handsome?
I have been playing this game on and off for a little bit now. It's another one of your guys' favorites, the Vampire Survivor likes.
Yes.
Love.
This is called Halls of Torment.
Halls of Torment.
This is Diablo 2 if it was Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, it looks like it actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is super fun. There's like a couple. It's in early access right now. There's a couple of different levels. It's not like fully fleshed out yet. But it plays very differently than your traditional one of these, because you go in with like a starter weapon as one of the characters. There's like a warrior, an archer. There's a guy named an exterminator who has a fucking flamethrower, a cleric, a wizard, and a couple others. They all have different starting attacks, just like a Vampire Survivors, but you're not really picking powers so much as you're picking passives that kind of upgrade your guy. And then once you kill one of the bosses on a stage, he'll sometimes drop a scroll, and that will be a power that you can level up and then eventually evolve. What they also drop is gear, and so you can gear up your character in these runs. Just like a Diablo, where things will give you cool passives. You'll get like more armor. The higher level of the Halls of Torment that you go to, the better gear you get. And then on top of that, gear that you get in the dungeons, one piece every time you can like send back to this well that goes back to your hub area. And you're able to buy from like a merchant so that you can take it with you on subsequent runs and start out a little bit better.
Well, let me ask you this. If you take that on another run and then get something better, do you lose the one that you originally sent back, or you get both? Like if you send the new one back also?
So actually that's a main mechanic of the game is items all have this like retrieved, not retrieved ticker on them. And if you start with like a helmet that has like 3 defense, and then you pick up a helmet later that you hadn't originally retrieved, you can send it back to the well, which is actually like a physical location you have to go to. You can only send one item back per run, and that will get shot up the well, and you'll have your entire stash, including whatever you took in there with you, plus this new item that you're able to buy off the merchant. It is a really, really fun mix of like the Diablo and Vampire Survivors. The sound design of the skeletons specifically I want to call out, because when you kill skeletons, they make the best fucking clickety-clack noise that I could possibly imagine. And every time I play it, I'm like, yes, this is the most satisfying fucking sound. I could listen to this a million times, and I think I will. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to dive back in and murder fucking 500 skeletons. It's going to be great.
I'm the clickety clacks alone.
But yeah, it is like it's like a $4 or $5 game. Tons of fun, lots of stuff to unlock, lots of items, and a really unique take on that whole genre that's happening right now. Well, we're playing.
It's a Diver Surviblo. It's a Surviblo.
Diver Survival. Guys, we gotta
hold on.
We gotta contact their marketing team because they named this incorrectly.
Yeah, they did.
It's all mislabeled.
They need to make T-shirts. Survive.
DI vampires.
DI
blows.
Andy, take us into your first game on the list. It comes in waves.
This is also a steal of the week. It's like a $2 or $3 game.
A twofer? We got a two for one here.
This I bought for 2 reasons. One, it's a former guest of the show, a dev that made a game called Undetected, a sort of Metal Gear Solid inspired stealthy action adventure game. So this is a PS1 aesthetic, just wave shooter, third person shooter. And I bought it because it looks like a PS1 game. It's of a friend of the show.
I'm going to challenge you on this one.
Low poly, high quality.
I'm going to challenge you on this one. This looks more like an OG Xbox game. This looks like fucking Mass Effect, or not Mass Effect, the other one. Not KOTOR.
That's PS1 crunch right there, my friend.
That is PS1 crunch.
This looks like KOTOR to me.
That's PS1.
So what are the waves that it comes in?
Just robots and shit, and this is
So,
like
not like the ocean.
the waves of the crashing waves of the ocean. But yeah, it's a fun like time kill, on the train or in bed. It's just, again, I like this dev so much and it costs nothing. I was like, I'm buying it. And like he like released it, and I think in a week.
It's 299 pennies.
He like just released Undetected last year. I think it was last November or October. And then he's like, here's a new thing that I just made. And I think this character is going to be in his next game, like his next fully fledged, not a wave shooter.
I love these like low poly, blurry, like depth of field shots because it totally takes away. Like you're like, oh, that's how they made me believe that graphics were good back in the day. They just blurred fucking everything a little.
Yeah, man, it's all just fucking smoke and mirrors. That's
screen door effect, man. The screen door effect.
But yeah, it's like a thing that it's like sprites and this aesthetic. I like, my heart melts for it, and I just had to get it. And it was so cheap. So
is it like is it like different weapons or different?
Oh, for
upgrades
sure.
and
Yeah, nothing like totally like Ratchet and Clank outrageous zany shit. But it's a fun, turn off your brain, shoot shit with an old school charm of it. And again, it's like it costs nothing. So I had to pick it up.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, right before we went live, I played the demo, which was released today, of Gori, Cuddly, Carnage, baby.
I saw that.
How is it doing? How is that game doing?
How is it doing?
Compared to your last hands-on 2 years ago.
So 2 years ago.
A year ago.
It was 2 years ago.
It was 2
This
years
was
ago.
2 PAXs ago.
No.
But that's 1 year ago.
That's right.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Well, I mean,
right.
PAX was like 3 months ago, so it was a year and 3 months. So yeah, I guess so.
Which is much
4
closer
months.
to
2 years.
It was a long time ago. It was
ago.
It might as well have been when I was 12.
Our first PAX.
So this game has the most important thing, or not the most important thing, but the thing that jumped out at me at first was the production value is way higher than I thought it was going to have. It's got this comic book aesthetic where like the way it sets up the story and everything like that. It does have some cringeworthy dialogue, censored F-bombs and like weird character. Like it's like you don't have one claptrap, but you have like 2 claptraps talking to each other. Like that's kind of what it feels like, but like,
oh man.
Yeah, it could be like but then you start to actually play the game and you're like, oh my god, this is so much fun to just it's a skateboarding,
it looks so
hack and slash shooty game. Like that's really what it is. It's got a pretty interesting world. We have an interview up, a shorter interview up on youtube.com/dualscreens.tv from that PAX a couple of years or a year and a half ago, whatever.
And a full-fledged one.
That's right. We did do a full-fledged. I forgot that we did that. Yeah, you're right. I get all these things mixed up.
Too many. That's
the world is so cool. Like the Earth has been overrun by possessed evil toys, and Gori's just like orbiting the Earth in a sentient spaceship that has its AI put into a basically an N64 cartridge, and then they get assaulted and they have to crash down to Earth and fight the unicorn toys and all that stuff. So it looks good. It had some stuttering here and there, but whatever, it's a demo. And I think the lock button could use a little work. It works, but it doesn't lock the camera on the character. It locks Gori on the character, if that makes sense. So if your
camera could be like behind you or something.
And your reticle will be pointing behind you, and then when you attack, he attacks behind you, but the camera stays where it is, and you can. So like the way, and I think the reason why they do that is because of the skating. Like they want you to constantly be grinding rails and like doing tricks and stuff. So I think it's so that you can grind rails, see where your enemies are going to be, and hop off, attack them, because you could attack in the air and like dodge to like different or like bounce off different enemies, and then go back on the rail. When you do billboard grinds or rail grinds, you recharge your boost, and then your boost is also your modifier for more powerful attacks. So like you hold boost and attack normally, and he does like the helicopter spin, chops everything up. There's another one where you hold it when you get a powered attack to break shields that a like chain like an energy chain comes out of the back of the skateboard or the hoverboard, and Gori like slams it down, and it makes a big crash and breaks shields. But yeah, it's very, very free flowing. But I don't know, like the camera's gonna take some getting used to. The combat feels a little bit more like a more arcadey version of like a Biomutant did to start. So we'll see with the different powers how they play. It looks like you could upgrade certain abilities and stuff. I didn't do much of that. I mean, it's a demo, so but the world is really what's like I just like this cat is the animations are great. Tons of blood from these unicorns, which, you know, is gonna be it's gonna be one of those things that like I could see people getting tired of, but then as you're watching the trailer there, if you're watching on YouTube or live on twitch.tv/dualscreenstreams, like the enemy designs, the boss designs, they're gonna be wild. So I'm pretty excited for it. But we'll see what happens. We shall see.
Yeah, looks awesome.
The next one on here is Protodroid Delta.
That spelling just grates on my brain.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so I bought this game fairly recently. I played it for all of 5 minutes, and it is a game made by one dude, and it's like Mega Man Legends and Mega Man X. Very nicely done, and I feel like if this guy had like a proper budget, he can make a proper Legends game. Because
I see. Yeah. Okay.
It's really well made. It's not like super high budget. There's a lot of passion in it, and you play as a robot that like zips around, hacky slash, fights robots, fights bosses, gets abilities, rinse, repeat.
Sure.
And
Into it.
Yeah, it's super dope.
Like the level design, you know, from the trailer looks like rudimentary. You know, it looks like
that is the one
placing
thing
shapes
that it's like. You're right. It's very not super detailed. The environments of the world. It's more about the gameplay, which is amazing.
Gameplay's king.
But like, I can imagine this guy with like a proper, if they gave him some money to make a full-fledged Legends game,
or if he just, you know, had a team that he could
right.
you know, expand a little bit. I mean, listen, we've seen solo devs take a project that was like this, that was a passion, and iterate on it over time and stuff like that. I mean, this looks, from a gameplay design perspective, a really polished project. Would you say that, you know, that would be accurate?
From what I played, yes, it's very polished. Okay. It's got an amazing soundtrack too, which I think in a game like this, it's all about the soundtrack as well, because she's trying to like copy a Mega Man style game, and those like live and die by the strength 100%. Of their soundtracks. Right. Because it's part of the gameplay, like the vibing tunes as you're like blowing shit up and like scaling walls and shit. Yeah,
and to go back to Gori, it's all like fucking techno core, like hardcore metal shit. It's pretty dope. Pretty dope. Anyway, all right. So Andy, you have, before we get into our steal of the week, you have a Tears of the Kingdom, a totally non-indie
I just story have to share this with
that you want to share with everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is Andy's AAA moment of the week.
This is more just like an insight into my sick mind.
Oh boy.
So I'm not sure if you boys know, I have like a little weird OCD thing when it comes to games and numbers, specifically odd numbers. Okay. I don't like odd numbers in my life, in my games. An example of this. Let's say I'm playing a Resident Evil and I have 7 bullets in my chamber. I will fire one off to make it 6. Insane. That's insane. So that's the preamble to this story.
A preamble.
So when I started playing Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, shit, I have my amiibo cards. I should scan these all and get all the shit. And, you know, I have all the shit. Because I know that in Tears, they put all the amiibo armors from Breath of the Wild into dungeons and in the depths, so you can find them and collect them if you don't have the amiibos.
Okay.
So, scan my first card, and I got Epona, You put on a horse. I was like, cool. I got a horse now. Awesome.
Sick.
Went to the little one of the little horse places, the stables.
A horse stable.
Registered it.
It's called a stable. Yeah.
Yes, registered the horsey.
Of course, you got to register your horse.
Named it. Awesome. What I didn't know was that it scans your Breath of the Wild save, and it transfers all your horses into your
Oh my
save file.
god.
So I was like,
I see.
so when I went to pull out a horse, I saw
Of course.
two Epona.
Oh no! You
I was
can't have
like,
two
I
Epona.
I can't have two on my list. So I'm Googling how to kill a horse in Tears of the Kingdom. And apparently, if you walk a horse to the edge of a cliff, it will jump off if you keep like egging it on, and it will fall and die. Now, that's insane that I had to kill a horse because I have two of them in the stable.
Did you kill an opponent?
I had to kill an opponent. Now, in my brain, I was like, that's a fake, that's a clone, that's a fake opponent. Now, this is where the sickness comes in.
Andy.
Oh, that wasn't the sickness. Okay,
No,
hold on.
He was like, it's an odd number now. I need to get that
Now there's
opponent
only
back.
one.
There's another layer to this.
Oh,
and that
boy.
is, I can't have a save file where I've killed one horse. So I had to kill a second horse. So it's two dead horses.
Andy, where in your game does the statistics of how many horses you've killed?
It's in here.
Andy, how many
Here.
how many gobhoblins or whatever the fuck they're called? How many of those did you kill? How many did you kill, Andy?
No, the rules don't
Could it be
apply for all the things.
317? Could it be
No, I will-
1,433?
Though
We
I
don't
will
know.
say- though
You'll
I will
never know.
say, if a game does have a kill count for enemies,
Yeah.
I will actually go and even them all out.
Yeah. Andy, please seek
That's
some counseling.
That's insane. You need
Please.
therapy.
Please seek some counseling.
Oh, man,
Also,
I
I'm
only
pretty
killed
sure
one-
you could have just strapped a rocket to Epona and
Yeah, it's-
sent her seaworthy.
I watched her die. She fell off a cliff.
Oh man, I only killed one.
I felt
only killed
bad.
one horse.
Okay,
This feels
okay.
I had to
weird.
kill
Now-
the second one.
Andy, I have this is a
I
question
made a
for
lot
you.
of glue that day. Yes.
Question for you. Could you have done that regardless of the even odds thing or having two of something? Could you have found it in your soul? Because Epona is one thing. Epona doesn't have like a personality.
Sure.
Could
It's like the horse.
I understand, but
Signature
in
horse.
in the world of the Legend of Zelda, there have been many Epona over the year.
Sure.
Like it's kind of just okay. Now,
Just like with Link and Zelda.
Right,
many
right.
Incarnations.
could you
throughout
do that
The games.
to Agro?
In Shadow of the Cloud, no fucking way. It almost happens
Well,
in that game anyway, and
could
I almost
you
cried
do it
when
to
it first
Agro?
happened, and then he fucking shows up, and then you're like, oh my god, and I
That's
almost
like
started crying.
never ending. Yeah, that's like what's that movie with that one horse that died?
Atreyu, yeah,
Yeah, fuck.
never ending story.
Come on.
Atreyu.
Speaking of terrible bands,
Were we taking? Oh yeah, we were. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Where did that
Remember?
come from?
Yeah, that was from before.
Alrighty
Um,
then.
so that's it. That's the
Here's
story.
my little
See, wasn't
tangent
that
from
totally worth
Breath of the
saying?
Wild. I remember the first time I scanned an amiibo card, a treasure chest fell out of the sky and landed on my head and killed me. A plus.
That's why you hate that game.
that's
so
why
much.
I
A
hate
plus.
the game. Yeah, murdered you right out of the gate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get
Fuck this
into
game.
the indie steal of the week. I don't know who put it in here, so I'm gonna just kick it to one of you. Oh, it's Matt. Oh, Matt, what do you got here, buddy?
This is a game called
Cramp!
Atomic Crops.
Cramp!
Oh shit.
I'm all right.
Oh no, are you okay? All right, yeah. So this game came out a while ago. It is kind of like an underserved and underloved roguelike, in my opinion. It kind of mashes together like really gross, like Ren and Stimpy style humor, like visuals, with Bullet Hell and Stardew Valley. So you're tasked with protecting the last surviving farm after like this giant nuclear apocalypse. There are giant enemies like bees and fucking all kinds of shit all over the place. Mad cows, all kinds of shit they're trying to fight. And there's a bunch of people in town that you can like marry, talk to. You can kind of like evolve your relationship, get new guns, buy different stuff. And the game happens in seasons. And so the idea
Oh,
is
Jesus Christ, this guy's face just melted.
yeah, it's great. So the idea is that every time that you go out to this field, out to this farm, you're trying to get the maximum amount of money that you can, while also going out and like getting other seeds and kind of getting upgrades and all this other stuff. There's like 4 cardinal directions. Each one is harder than the last. But every night, a horde of things will come attack your crops and try to destroy them. And so you have to like go out and get stuff, come back fast enough that your shit doesn't die, and then get everything. And then every day a helicopter will come and pick you up, and you go back to the town with that money, get your upgrades, and do all kinds of stuff. It is stupid fun. It is also very hard. There's multiple free DLCs for it. There's a couple of paid DLCs for it, but it is currently $374 and is worth all of that money. If you want all the paid DLC with that, including the soundtrack, you can get that for $11.49. And like I said, there's like 3 or 4 free DLCs that came out for it. But
damn,
yeah, it is a really deep game. Some great gameplay,
looks awesome.
Super unique, great art style, great music, but extremely difficult. Would recommend a mouse and keyboard and not on a controller, because like watering crops and stuff while you're fighting shit can be really difficult with a controller.
Are you fighting the sun?
Yes.
I get Zombies Ate My
ridiculous.
Neighbors vibes with that.
I was
I
just
can see
about
that.
to say that.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, great game to pick up for under $4.
All right. Let's see. We got about 15 or so minutes left for this bad boy. So we got some games to throw on the wish list roundup. And our first one here is what do we got here? Leximan or Leximan or Leximon.
Just you put this in the Discord, by the way, so
Did
this
I?
is yours. Yeah.
I don't remember
I
doing
don't,
that.
I don't, I don't
Oh
know
yes,
what
I
game
did.
this
Oh
is.
yeah. I did this one today. This one just really caught my eye. It just looks really cool. It's like a puzzle game, but you're typing like words to like solve the rooms and stuff, and like do magic. Like I don't know. It just seems like like a Scribblenauts style, but like more RPG elements. And I just love this art style. This like. What do you call that? Voxel? I don't know what this is actually called. But
No, these are just sprites.
I mean,
Sprites,
they're
pixels.
sprites, but they look like, but the way they're like just outlines. I don't know. And it's just very.
Voxels are volumetric pixels.
Yeah,
I don't know
like
science.
three-dimensional
Like
element to-
three-dimensional.
Yeah.
I don't know science.
I know. I'm not explaining science to you. I'm explaining what voxels
It's like,
are.
do you know
See, look.
Minecraft?
Punt.
Yeah.
He just typed the word punt with the letters that were available, and he wound up
So it's like
punting.
Baba
I-
is
these.
you.
this looks cool.
It does. It looks really cool. Like I was just like, oh, that's
the
a
first word that he typed was fromage.
Yes.
And, like, the guy that he was talking to, the horse that he was talking to, got like really mad that he had just said cheese.
he
Like
just-
like a cheese
yeah.
mage.
Cheese mage.
but it's got
That's
like
a
a
class.
really
That's a
weird
D&D class.
mix of different
Please.
like artistic direction. Like
Charcuterie.
the screen is just like outlines and very simple, and then there's like Zelda like isometric views where you're like exploring and stuff. I don't know, it just seemed really
I'm
cool.
telling you, it's like Baba is you.
I'm
I
gonna
get those vibes.
download the demo for this and let you know
Love
how it is next week, next show.
I'm into it.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Looks very fun.
So
All right,
cute.
next on here was Quest Master.
Oh my God! Future guest of the show or returning
Future
guest
show of the
show.
guest.
Future show of the guest.
Future friends of the show.
We're definitely gonna get along. I'll make sure of it.
Oh, we got along, did we?
Yeah, this game looks dope.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell the backstory of this bad boy there?
Yeah,
Andy?
we interviewed these two brothers. I think their names were Ian and Sid, like in the early days of the Nintendo.
It was an
Dual
infamous
Screen
episode.
podcast. This was like when we were on a tear to like have a guest like every single week, and we had like a nice like streak going, and we had a guest cancel. I legit typed like sprites.
No,
and indie.
Andy. No. We had a guest cancel,
Right.
and then we had another guest cancel,
Yes.
and then a third one fell through. Like we had a third, like it
was a
wasn't a
rough
cancel,
week.
but it was like I'll let you know.
I'll let you know.
And the I let you
Didn't.
know was like
That was
4
like a
hours
not now.
before the show.
Right. It's like not right now.
Yeah. Then
And I typed into Twitter like indie or like sprites or some random like shit, and I found
pixel art.
I found these guys, who were showing off something. It was like a platformer game, and they came on the show and they're like, "Yeah, we're not talking about that because it's not really a game." And we talked about God knows what.
I can't. I have no idea. It was.
I don't even know.
One of the most challenging things ever to do an entire show.
And they were both
with
so
no
happy
information
to be on the show.
Oh yeah, like they were
so much fun.
You should get them back on.
That's the idea. That's the idea.
Been in conversation.
We are in contact.
Now that they have a game to talk about.
But behind the, like, I don't care if we say this publicly. That was the most difficult show to do and probably our worst.
Well,
like,
listen, we had.
Well, I couldn't figure out what to do in that.
Right, but did you have fun?
No, I did not.
Didn't.
No,
Andy, did you have fun?
No, don't let him lie to you. He did not have fun.
Love those guys.
No,
how uncomfortable they made Steve.
It was so difficult.
I would say challenging because our interview chops weren't as refined as they are today, and there was no topic to kind of like guide us. Like,
yeah,
we couldn't even we couldn't even drive it. It was already off the rails into the ocean at that point.
Yeah,
by that time you pressed record. So
yeah, and the two of them are brothers that had like a lot of like inside shit that just we couldn't.
And we tried to pry information.
Yeah,
we're like,
but they wouldn't. Can you give us?
Can you give a little? Nah.
You guys got to look up this episode because it's. Yeah. I think it, like, in retrospect, it is.
We should give it a listen.
It's funny.
We should give it a listen.
You guys want to do a live react?
Bonus episode. There you go. Patreon bonus episode.
That is a bonus episode. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do it with this overlay. We'll put the YouTube.
Just listen to it
and just listen to it. But Questmaster, it looks dope. Like, you make the dungeons.
So is it like Mario Maker, or is it like you're the character and also the God Hand, and you're like guiding the character through?
Yes.
What?
Yes. We'll find out in the interview. Okay. It says Questmaster is a dungeon maker inspired by the classics that first made us love dungeon crawling. Unleash your imagination, alone or in local co-op, to make dungeons full of puzzles, traps, and monsters. Upload them for others to explore and challenge yourself with other players' creations. Yeah, so it's like a Mario Maker.
Zelda. That's sick. That's really cool.
Dope. I'm totally about that life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they did it before Nintendo could. So, well, kind of. Because Nintendo
do you think there'll be a retroactive C&D?
No, because they didn't call it the Legend of fucking Master Sword Quest. You know, whatever. But no, didn't they do that with Link's Awakening?
Link's Adventure, what?
They did it with Link's Awakening. They did the Dungeon Maker.
Yes, there was like a little bit of a.
It was like an add-on.
It was like a Maker Light in a sense. It wasn't as like in depth as like Mario Maker. Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe. You
know what's funny?
Nothing.
There's also a game called Super Dungeon Maker, which is this, but you play as a chicken in a suit of armor.
I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah.
I don't like
Very
chickens.
Similar idea.
Another former friend of the show. Another former friend of the show is the next game.
Oh yeah,
the
Dr. Fetus's
meat machine.
So this is like, I'm not sure how I feel about this. In general,
can I be totally honest? I think
be brutally honest.
I think
I want to be
Ed McMillan leaving.
Yeah,
Ed McMillan.
The Meat Boy franchise has gone downhill, and this is like a weird overextension for that brand.
I just feel like they have the IP and the characters and are not sure what to do with it exactly.
Yeah, because the brain behind how gross and awesome that game was and like the level design is Ed McMillan. Ed McMillan did all the room design and a lot of the art for Binding of Isaac. And
correct.
That game is so good. And I think that Tommy is awesome. Tommy is a great programmer.
Oh, he totally is, yeah.
And a good dude.
And a good dude.
He's just a lot of fun to talk to.
I just think that this is a really hard franchise to maintain without like the brainchild team of the two of them.
Well, I think that speaks to what made the first game. Like, the first game was genre defining. Like, it was the crazy frenetic, like, precision platformer that you could. It was the Celeste before Celeste. Like, it was that's what it was. It was staged by a screen. It was I guess you call it like a screen
I'd say stage by stage.
a stage platformer. Like it wasn't like long levels. It was just one static screen.
Right.
Kind of, you get through it a little bit. Like it might scroll up and down a little bit,
Yeah,
but
there
it
was
wasn't
some.
like
Yeah,
there were some longer
rooms were
levels
like-
for sure.
yeah. But it was digestible. Like it was one of those things that
Infinite platformer.
you could just play it and
Yeah.
It was
put
the
it
first-
down and yeah.
Yeah, it was the first game I remember that had the post level death count.
Mhm.
Where like
Oh yeah.
after the level, it would show all your meat splattering all over the fucking
Yeah,
level until you
yeah.
finally.
That was
did it. I
always the
fucking love
best.
that shit.
Like the
Yeah,
little
so good.
instant replay of like how you got there.
Yeah, so good. But
But
yeah, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for. Not I feel bad. I don't want to like pity him because I don't. I think
This could be
he's-
cool though.
It could be. It could be
Because
really cool.
I mean,
No,
it looks like
it's-
Dr. Mario, but like with environmental hazards.
It is like Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine essentially is what's happening here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
but
that one.
it's like look at like a Shovel Knight, which does like there was that dungeon game they did. Like it's like an offshoot genre
Mhm.
for him, but like there's still
And
like the
Dig.
traditional like Shovel Knight games in a
Mhm.
sense that
Mhm.
exist. So I can forgive that. But if this is all we get from like the Meat Boy sort
I mean,
of
we got
IP,
Super Meat Boy forever, but I didn't think
which
It wasn't that
also felt
Yeah, I
like
didn't think
a
it was
kind of
that
a weird
bad.
offshoot as well. It wasn't
Yeah.
like
it was like
in
an
the same
infinite runner
vein. Right.
Yeah. type deal.
So yeah,
I don't know.
it's a weird spot. Like when the creative brain kind of goes away and you're left with like
just the IP,
the
really.
creativity
and a great programmer
of that person. Yeah. So it's tough.
All right, let's get into the indie news report, and we're going to. I'll hit up a couple of these really
We'll all
quickly.
right through this.
Yeah, let's just chug through a bunch of them. That's fine.
I'm going to go through a couple of these. The first one that I want to talk about is that Soulstone Survivors got a massive update.
Fucking huge.
Path of Ascension is the name of the update. They basically made a massive skill tree now. It looks like the Final Fantasy X sphere grid now.
Yeah.
And you could, and everything is kind of like in the fog of war that you could like actually unlock shit with nodes and stuff. Right now they only have them for Barbarian, Pyromancer, Houndmaster, Spellblade, Arcane Weaver, Sentinel, and Paladin. But whatever. They also have Ascensions, which are new character exclusive mechanics through the skill tree. So you could get like essentially they're basically like subclasses, I guess. So they have the Void Hunter Ascension, which you could get Rage Unleashed or Rift Walker. They include Ascension powers for the following characters: Barbarian, Pyromancer, Houndmaster, Spellblade, Arcane Weaver, Sentinel, and Paladin. So there's 7 new craftable weapons for you to unlock and craft. There's 14 new active skills. Again, they're all for those basic classes here. So the ones I already mentioned. But each one is getting 2 new active abilities. There's 21 new runes, which is
also
huge because the runes was like, to me, the runes is what was lacking as far as build diversity, because I felt like I was falling into the same groups of runes. Like you didn't need to change them up for certain classes. So that's great. Another part that was lacking was the enemy design. Now they're adding even more enemies. 19 new enemies to be exact, regulars and elites, and they also have new soundtrack for some levels. They got corrupted void hunters. They have auto aim as a new feature, which is interesting. You could toggle that yourself. It fires to the closest enemy, so you could just focus on enemy avoidance and just let it go. I'm probably not going to use that. I don't see why I would do that. There's a bunch of rune changes, miscellaneous updates, skill changes, that change, balancing issues, some fixes and whatnot. But that's a huge, huge update. I can't wait to dive in. I haven't had the chance.
Yeah.
But
I think this still is top of the totem pole for this genre right now. I mean, Halls of Torment is very fun, the one I mentioned earlier, but like the constant updates to this, the roadmap that they've kind of followed, and how far they're going into just like end game / unlocks is crazy. Like 14 new skills in one update, never mind all the ones they've already added in past updates and what they'll add in future updates. It just seems like I don't know, it's gonna be hard to beat this. It's gonna be hard to beat Soulstone.
Indeed. I'm trying to find the actual rundown of the Fabledom update. They really just say that there's just an update. Let me see. If I can
There was
see it.
like military stuff, wasn't there?
Yeah. Let me actually. Here we go. That's a screen. There's a hot fix. Oh, here we go. So, Fabledom has the art of soldiery. Excuse me. Dyslexia man strikes again. Here I come to Dave the Say. Means dyslexia man is on his way. Yeah, so we got military buildings and soldiers are now available, which is the part of the game I was hoping that, I don't know, I just don't really want to do the killing, but whatever.
What I thought that was so funny because you were so amped about it not having that aspect.
I know.
At PAX,
You can
and then,
kill shit now.
Literally, the first update is like, "Hey, murder stuff."
Yes. Now, here's the thing. More buildings, right? More things to do. That's
Mhm.
the most important in this game because you will, after 2 hours, run out of the, like, you hit the wall. It's like, okay, there's nothing else I can do to advance in some way. So
Mhm.
this is unlocking a whole other act of the story as well, which allows you meet a new neighbor, a new neighboring kingdom, which gives you a new quest line, and it's called the Warrior Princess. So I'm assuming that this is going to teach you how, invading and essentially either taking over or whatever a neighboring kingdom, as opposed to the way you did it in the first one, which is by romance. And this also is supposedly opens up the next act of the romance option as well. So like you could go on your second date with the neighboring kingdom that you went on your first date with. Yeah, bunch of new structures, new quests, new ground displacement system, where it's going to adapt to your surroundings so that you can place on more varied terrain, which is nice. Roads can be built on slopes now. So good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's
lot of
really
good
just
updates.
like a mirror for the human condition. When you reach the wall and you got nothing else to do, murder.
You murder.
Kill.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Turbo Overkill, the final episode, is out now, released.
Hell yeah.
1.0 release, or part 1 is out now, but it says 1.0 release on July 18th. So I didn't go through this, and I'm sure this was a Matt thing if you want to go over some bullet points.
Yeah. So there are basically a bunch of new chainsaw limbs that you can add
Of course, yep.
to your character, which is super
So
cool.
fucking good.
There's 2 new fights. There's a hover bike instead of a motorbike. They've like replaced some things. It's really just like another chapter.
Sure.
It's mostly like balance and small changes, except for the fact that there's a whole shitload of new content. Like a whole episode's worth of new content to play through with your chainsaw knees or arms or throat or whatever you happen to have chainsaws starting out of.
Thorax.
Yeah, your chainsaw thorax. For anybody that doesn't know, this game is the boomeriest of shooters, and if you like Tony Hawk and murdering things, this is a game that you should definitely buy. Because it is both of those things. You can fucking grind people's bones down to your heart's content and get the high score, while your quad damage bullshit is active and you're shotgunning and rocketing everything in sight. It is so fun. There's blood everywhere. You're wall running. You're fucking jumping, double jumping. It's great. Just kill things.
I'm about
It's
that life.
Listen, also, if you like murder, check out Fabledom.
Additionally,
hey, check this out. Dead Cells has sold 10 million units worldwide.
holy shit.
10
holy
million,
shit.
man. That's a lot of units.
God damn.
Yeah. I mean, well deserved. Probably
Still haven't played a second of that game.
That's like one of the
Oh my
most
God.
evergreen indie games ever. That just will never stop selling, I feel.
Yeah, it just the constant support that this game gets, I think, is kind of like the blueprint for No Man's Sky, kind of, right? Like
Mhm.
these guys, although the game never sucked, like from early access
So
through
good.
now, it's just been constant updates, constant communication, incredible amounts of content, and it's so worthy of 10 million sales. It's still one of the best roguelikes on the market. And the team was always super responsive. One of my favorite things in the early days of this game, when it like first hit early access, was that they were so open to community suggestions, and would actually, like, when they would release a changelog or an update, they would specifically list in a separate section the community suggestions that got
That's so
implemented
neat.
into the game, which I thought was really
That's
rad.
really cool.
That is such a great audience to gift Castlevania to. I hope we get more of that stuff, like
Me too, man. Yeah.
collaborations. It's so worthy of that. Can't wait.
Speaking of gifts, Valve has approved a Half-Life remade as a roguelike by a
What?
fan.
I love this.
Okay. I don't.
It's like a legit
okay.
top-down
I'm
twin-stick
just gonna say,
shooter.
yeah, it's a twin stick shooter, top down
So
roguelike. You know,
good.
you can make your own levels, blah blah blah. Listen, I don't understand the love for Half-Life. But
Oh my god, what do you mean?
But here's the thing. Here is the thing. I didn't play it when it was like a big thing, like when it came out.
Play
I
Black
played it.
Mesa. Play Black Mesa tomorrow.
I played it way
Tomorrow.
later. You know when I played Half-Life? I played Half-Life when the orange box came out for PS3.
That's terrible.
No.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to play this. This is boring to me.
Fucking Blue Shift and
Blue
oh my
Shift.
God. Oh my god.
Anyway,
It's so good.
it's a
Anyway,
roguelike now but the story here is not that somebody made this, but it's that Valve was like, yeah, all right, cool. And
It's
it's
all right.
playable right now.
I don't like Final Fantasy. This is just Steve's Final Fantasy. It's fine.
It's no, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't have reverence for the franchise like a lot of people do.
Yeah, right. Me too.
No, you have nothing nice to say about Final Fantasy. Like
No,
nothing.
I think it's great. It's so good.
There's a story in here. Before we go, we're plowing through here. There's a story here about Devolver that doesn't have a link, so I assume that's Andy because he likes to make
No,
my
I
life
didn't do
hard.
that shit. That's all
No,
Matt.
okay.
Chuckles over there.
All right, so it's Chuckles McGee.
Devolver's presentation today was
I didn't. Yeah,
continuing one in their tradition of fucking incredible,
Just being weird.
just being weird. It was all about ChatGPT and AI generation.
Yeah,
and
I'm not surprised.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
it was so fucking perfect. There was like a lot of stuff announced. Wizard with a Gun definitely took the cake. It was definitely a little bit more underwhelming than what they've normally shown, but I do feel like they always pick kind of one game to really have the showcase, like Cult of the Lamb was
Right.
last year, and
Yeah.
but it's well worth sitting through 20 minutes of that. Of not incredible looking games, but pretty good looking games for the absolute fucking tomfoolery that happens at every Devolver Digital event, and everybody should watch this. I sent it to my friend who just likes horror and doesn't really play video games at all because I thought he would fucking like it. It's so good. They're stupid. I love them.
I don't know which one of you put this Kickstarter, but I saw this one also, and I thought it was fucking dope. So, Kickstarter of the week,
yeah.
ladies and germs.
I put
is
it in here because Buzz had mentioned it.
Buzz put it in the
a
Discord.
And
tiny
it does look
sticker
pretty good.
tail.
Yeah.
It's definitely Animal Crossing vibes with some cool mechanics.
Yeah. Let's see. It smashed its goal. It had a $6,000 goal. It's at 17 grand right now. Funded in less than 2 hours. 551 backers. 28 days to go. I want to scroll down and actually. Okay. Tiny Sticker Tale is a cozy miniature adventure about changing the world using the power of stickers. I have a problem already. I have a problem already.
These guys are coming on the show. That's happening. That's gonna be my goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna get nice and close to the camera real quick.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Tell
Listen,
us about your stickers.
listen.
Oh shit, he's gonna have to collect all the stickers.
Yes.
No,
In even numbers.
Steve looks
Matt,
like he's gonna cry.
you also understand this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is it a kid thing?
Stickers fucking suck.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they'll
Chill-
end up on things.
Stickers. Have you ever tried to peel a sticker off of a carpet?
that
Off
shit
of
don't
like
come all the way off.
a mid-ply carpet, and then you're like, "Oh, my super-powered Dyson vacuum will definitely suck up this." No, it doesn't.
No, it won't.
What it does is it takes the color off the sticker, so then you just have a fucking crime scene of a sticker on your carpet. Have you ever gone into your kid's room, but like for the first time in like a day and a half, and their furniture is just
Covered in stickers.
covered in stickers?
Yeah, no, you're
Just
not getting any of those all the way off.
Let me tell you guys something.
Stickers don't come off.
The
things.
only reason IKEA exists is because of parents that have to throw away furniture. That is the only reason IKEA is successful, because when I was a kid, I put stickers on my furniture, but my furniture was like, you know, expensive, heavy oak fucking furniture that was made by one man made my Italian furniture that was hand down for me from the 60s and 70s.
God, you know,
exactly what I'm talking about.
I do.
Heavy furniture that fell on you, like when you pulled the drawer out too much and it landed on your foot and split your toenail and made it purple, and your dad had to be like, "That's what you fucking get. Why are you pulling your drawer out all the way?" Then IKEA had to make dressers that weighed a half an ounce and made out of particle board, and they have little stoppers on the end, so you can't do that. But then they're like, "Oh, these shits are too light. They're falling off onto kids. They're pulling them off the wall. We have to make straps, and we have to and the kids can just put stickers on them, and the parents will say, "Well, fuck it, I'll just get another $180 fucking dresser because my kids will outgrow that." They don't outgrow it. They don't outgrow it because now they get bigger stickers. They just get bigger ones, and they're just even harder. And you say, "Hey, I'll just use the Goo Gun." Nay, because the Goo Gun just takes the varnish off of the shitty IKEA furniture. So
not only that, but it doesn't even get the whole. You still have the stupid backing paper part of the sticker stuck to the shit. I gotta take a picture of my fucking coffee table for you guys later.
I'm like getting distinct flashbacks when I first went to your house, Steve. And I was like, he has stickers in the oddest places.
No, he doesn't.
My entire boom for my microphone is Kena Spirits, the spirit. What was it? Kena? I don't know.
Bridge of Spirits.
Bridge of Spirits. Yes. All those little creatures. I have them all over the boom. But those are like, these are vinyl stickers. These can peel off and not leave resin. But like these 99-cent store fucking sticker books. And I just gave my kids more of them too. I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid.
It's a self-inflicted wound.
Anyway, a tiny sticker tail. Fucking good luck. That's gonna bring us.
I wanna. We gotta clip this and send it to them. They gotta know. It looks great. The game looks fucking great.
Great game.
But you're
dope.
perpetuating a terrible practice.
But anyway, our terrible sticker tale is fucking don't give them to children. That's going to bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll have much more to talk about next week when I could actually sit down and watch all of these summer of games, indie games showcases and all that stuff. And I know you guys.
Don't worry, Steve. By next week, there'll be fucking 7 more.
There'll be like 9 more. Yeah, it's just absurd. Follow us on social media. I'm at Batchout27. Andy's at Panthguy. Matt's at Missed Enough. We are at Dual Screens, and just go to dualscreens.com for all your dual screens needs. Thank you very much. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, listeners. And as always, please be excellent to each other.
Goodbye.